Hey folks, Jordan with the Young Turks and TYT Politics. I feel like it's been ages since we've spoken. Sorry for the lavish studio for the passenger seat in my rent-a-car in North Dakota. I am in civilization today in Bismarck. If you recall, Bismarck is the white supremacist area that I went undercover in last week at a Walmart and mall to interview supporters of the Dakota Access Pipeline. Was from Real America News, and I asked them what they thought. So I'm here in Bismarck because I'm on day 3 of wearing the same underwear. I got no laundry left. I need to get some new clothes and a couple items because I will be staying in Standing Rock for a little bit longer. You know, the mainstream media came for 5 minutes because they thought there was going to be a shootout at the OKK Corral between the veterans and the police. There was no such thing, and they are gone. I'm going to stay because I believe that you don't just leave when there's an artificial victory. I want to see how the story progresses. Quick update before I get to what I want to get to. There has been a blizzard this week. So today is the first day that the roads are pretty passable. Veterans were stranded here for 2 days. Veterans Michael Wood, Wes Clark Jr. Set up the GoFundMe to bring in 2,000 veterans. 4,000 showed up, even though the extra 2,000 wasn't officially their responsibility. They tried to create shelter for those veterans and also food and water. It was chaotic. I'm not going to bullshit you. There was a lot of veterans stranded because Michael and Wes had problems getting the funds released from the bank to get supplies, to get food, to get water. But overall, as far as I know, nobody died. And it was a tough storm. Storms here are very different than New York or Chicago. The sheer brutality of the cold here, today it is below 0. But yesterday was the most brutal cold I've ever experienced because of the wind. The wind just punishes your face. And the wind chill, yesterday was 4 degrees Fahrenheit, but with the wind chill, it felt like -10. So I'm doing my best to be outside to show you the brutality. Of course, I can't be outside all the time because then I'll pass away, and you don't want that. So the update is, there's a lot of information, a lot of disinformation that goes out. The Dakota Access Pipeline, as far as I know, has not drilled under the main lake, Lake Oahe. I'm not going to speculate on it because, it's irresponsible to do that. They have not been drilling under Lake Oahe. If they are drilling, it would be hard to see because there is still a police barricade in place on the main Blackwater Bridge, they call it. My best friend Andrew just said, call your best friend back. Hey, why don't you go to North Dakota? Try to find some cell service to call you back, asshole. I'll call you back. Anyway, the bottom line is there's still a blockade in there. The company is still working because they can drill anywhere they want other than under Lake Oahe. So if people hear them drilling, to me, it's most likely that they are drilling not under the lake where they don't have a permit. Now, if they do drill under the lake, then it becomes a question: does Barack Obama have balls? Because if they break the law, you can't legally drill without a permit. Then the question would be: is President Obama going to send in the federal National Guard? So far, it's only been state National Guard. I'm staying here, so I'm going to keep on. I'm going to try and find out as best I can if they are drilling under that lake. But the conditions here are tough. I mean, it's very cold. When there's storms, roads are shut down. A lot of black ice. Again, cell service, Wi-Fi is hit or miss. So that's why I haven't been doing as many live videos with you. The other development is Energy Transfer Partners has sued. So they have sued in U.S. District Court asking for a summary judgment to basically overturn and bypass the Army Corps of Engineers and the president to basically get permission to drill from this federal judge to bypass President Obama. The first court date for that is tomorrow in Washington, D.C. As far as I know, there will not be a ruling tomorrow whether to overturn the Army Corps or not. It's just the first court appearance, but I'll follow it. Again, that is in Washington, D.C. tomorrow, where lawyers for Energy Transfer Partners will be going to a U.S. District Court judge making their case why the judge should overrule the Army Corps of Engineers and President Obama. This was the same judge in September who did not grant the Standing Rock Sioux Tribe an injunction. Standing Rock Sioux Tribe had asked for an injunction not for drilling to stop completely. This judge did not grant them that. However, this is a different case. This is now having an official ruling from the Army Corps of Engineers that declines them a permit to drill under the lake. So the judge would have to have pretty damn good cause or reason to overturn the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers and, let's be real, President Obama, because it's really the president's decision. So I'll be following that, but as far as I know, there won't be a formal ruling or decision whether to overturn or not tomorrow. There's other things. I'm going to do a live stream another time to tear into this fucking idiot, Congressman Kevin Cramer from North Dakota, who had the audacity to go on to the floor, the House floor yesterday, and talk about the law and order, how law and order needs to be brought back to the present because law and order has been abandoned in North Dakota. This is a new congressman, and he apparently believes law and order means North Dakota police breaking the own laws they're supposed to enforce. I watched his whole floor speech. It's one of the more shameful things I've ever seen. He talks about how the protesters are violent and the protesters are attacking police. He cited a water protector throwing a snowball at a female officer. God forbid she had some snow near her. You know, I guess that's more violent than police shooting grenades at 21-year-old girls, nearly maiming their arms. I'm talking about Sophia Wilansky. And police also making one woman go blind. I interviewed her the other day, Vanessa Dundon, who has lost her eyesight in her left eye due to police firing a tear gas canister at her. So the Morton County Police very, very upset if snow is thrown near them, which also there's no proof of that. But you know, people losing arms, people losing eyesight, all unarmed people. That's a problem. So I want to get to one of my favorite subjects, and that is Donna Brazile and the Democratic Party, or shall I say, disgraceful Donna Brazile and the Democratic Party. And this is going to be a rant, folks, so sit down, get your popcorn, because I'm ready to blow off some steam. So Donna Brazile has the audacity to send out an email, and she wrote a piece on Medium. Headline, Democrats stand with Standing Rock. Again, Democrats stand with Standing Rock. This is the interim DNC chair. I don't know why she is still the DNC chair. The Democrats just got destroyed by an orange orangutan fascist. But she's writing, all of a sudden, on December 8th, the Democrats stand with Standing Rock. Let's read into this. And just for your information, before President Obama didn't grant the permit, there was not a word from Chuck Schumer. There was not a word from Nancy Pelosi. There was not a word from Hillary Clinton when she ran. There was not a word from Elizabeth Warren until the day that they denied the permit. So good old Elizabeth Warren showing her progressive values when it doesn't matter anymore. And not a word from the DNC. So it is a moving scene and a distressing one. Enduring the harsh winds and bitter cold of a blizzard, the protesters encamped at the construction site of the Dakota Access Pipeline are standing strong, chanting "Water is life" in the Lakota Sioux language and demanding the preservation of their lands and the precious natural resources located there. And then, you see that? It says Minnewachuny in the email. So suddenly, Donna Brazile and the Democrats are chanting to the height of their volume for Minnewachuny, which means water is life. Suddenly, they care about the preservation of lands and the precious natural resources located there. They didn't seem to care when human beings were bitten by dogs, unleashed by a private oil company's security force. They didn't seem to care when rubber bullets were shot at journalists, Native Americans, non-natives. They didn't care about natural resources and preservation of land then. They certainly didn't care when on a bridge, grenades were shot, tear gas was shot, freezing water was shot. But now suddenly, after President Obama has denied a permit and the world is watching, and suddenly, no DAPL has become a worldwide phenomenon. And the leader of the Democratic Party, if you want to call him a leader, if you want to say he stood with the water protectors, Obama wanted to let it play out. And he decided to shut it down the day before veterans and police might have had an altercation. Suddenly she cares. Let's go on. The pipeline clearly never underwent an appropriate review in consultation with nearby residents and the tribal leaders who raised serious concerns about the pipeline's location. It has the potential to cause devastating, long-term environmental damage, not least of all to Lake Oahe, a major source of drinking water for the Standing Rock tribe. The construction was cut through ancestral burial grounds, and the harsh treatment of peaceful protesters near the construction site by private security contractors and law enforcement officials who used tear gas, pepper spray, attack dogs, and even water hoses in sub-freezing temperatures caused unnecessary pain and suffering while violating free speech and First Amendment rights of our fellow Americans. Our fellow Americans. This would be like me in the 1930s and 40s, sitting by, watching the Holocaust happen, and then after the worst of it, coming off and say, that Adolf Hitler is not a good guy. Bad guy. I'm standing with the Jews after 6 million of them died. This, shameful is an understatement. Like, transparently deceptive, disgraceful, political. This is moral abdication of your responsibilities, not just as a politician, but as leaders. Okay? At a certain point, it's not brave, it's not politically courageous, it's certainly not effective to say all this shit after people have had mass hypothermia, after a young girl has lost her arm, after a young woman has lost her eyesight, a woman with 4 children, by the way. Where was Donna Brazile? Where was Chuck Schumer? Where was Nancy Pelosi? Where was Elizabeth Warren when the Young Turks and Democracy Now! And other independent media, when their aides were showing them social media campaigns? Where were they when they saw their fellow Americans getting shot on bridge with rubber bullets, pepper sprayed in the face? Where were they? They were sitting there pardoning turkeys. They were sitting there, trying to have damage control that they lost to a fascist. They weren't anywhere to be found. And these are the people? This is the party of the people? This is the party against climate change? This is the party against police brutality? These are a bunch of frauds. This is fraudulent to send this out now. Because the president finally did something? So she went on to say, one second. The Democratic Party was proud to support the Standing Rock Sioux tribe and their cause. You didn't fucking support their cause. This is a day late and a few dollars short. You didn't say anything. Show me the email. Show me the written piece 3 months ago when dogs bit humans. The water cannons, the tear gas, the pepper spray, the grenades. We were proud to support the Standing Rock tribe and their cause? During our most recent Rules and Bylaws and Executive Committee meeting, Democrats unanimously passed an official resolution expressing our solidarity with the Standing Rock Sioux tribe. Yeah, nobody needs your little bylaws and official resolution. We needed you out on cable news. We needed you in digital spaces. We needed you demanding that your president do something. We don't need you to have a meeting and do some ceremonial bullshit that you stand with Standing Rock Sioux tribe. And by the way, this is about way more. This is about way more than just Standing Rock. Where the fuck are these people on Flint? Where are these people on Flint? Where they still can't drink the water? Where are these people on East Chicago, Indiana, where I broke a lead crisis? Where are these people on a pipeline being built right now in Texas on native land, going through Mexico? Built by the same energy company, Energy Transfer Partners. Where are these people on the Sable Trail pipeline in Florida? Where are these people on anything progressive? Yeah, they speak up when it's politically convenient for them to speak up. They speak up when the public policy and the public sentiment is on their side. Just like Hillary Clinton became for gay marriage 5 minutes before it was legalized nationwide. Tammy Alvarez, Jordan, run with Bernie in 4 years. I think I could do more good this way, Tammy, but thank you. I keep losing it. Now, I've always said Standing Rock was about way more than water. It's about way more than land. It's about the buying off of our politicians, and to what lengths politicians will protect banks, oil companies, pharmaceutical companies, anyone that signs their checks. What does it take? Do they have to see people die? Do they have to see people thrown in jail naked overnight? Because that happened to a woman. She was strip searched and thrown in jail overnight and sexually assaulted, essentially. What does it take for Donna Brazile and Democrats to actually do the morally righteous thing? Doing the right thing, doing the common sense thing. And by the way, for those of you that complain, the reason I'm not ranting about Paul Ryan, Mitch McConnell, Donald Trump, do any of them pretend to give a shit about human rights? Or people's right to protest or climate change? At least they are open with their moral abdication. At least they're open about it. Donald Trump, I respect the fact that he was open that he was a douchebag. But these people are trying to claim that they're progressives. These people are trying to woo you back after they got crushed, putting forward the most establishment candidate in the history of America. So, the Democratic Party has also made it clear in our party platform that we believe we have a profound moral and legal responsibility to Indian tribes, and we will not waver. Hey, you're about 500 years too late on that one, Donna. Oh, we have a profound moral and legal responsibility to Indian tribes, and we will not waver. Democrats believe that we must respect the property rights of native and rural landowners, that we must respect the First Amendment rights of protesters and the sovereign rights of Native American tribes, and that we must invest in rural America in smarter ways that create more jobs in the green energy economy. Hey, Donna, if that's true, let me ask you a question. Why aren't you and your Democratic establishment goons out here demanding that the Army Corps leave, because the Army Corps is illegally seized Native American land? By the way, this whole pipeline, if you saw the interview I did with Peter Capicella, he's a federal tribal Indian lawyer. All of this land, almost all the pipeline, is not on private land. It's on Native American land as per the 1851 and 1868 Fort Laramie Treaty. The United States government illegally seized it. And you're telling me, oh, we respect the property rights of native and rural landowners, that we must respect the First Amendment rights of protesters and the sovereign rights of Native American tribes, and that we must invest in rural America in smarter ways that create more jobs in the green energy economy. Hey, let me ask you a question, Donna, since this is coming on behalf of the Democratic Party. Does Senator Heidi Heitkamp from North Dakota agree with you? Because she's been sitting on her hands, whistling for the last 6 months, not giving a position whether she was against this pipeline, whether she stood with unarmed water protectors, and she just went to meet and kiss Donald Trump's ring, pushing for a position in his cabinet. That's a Democrat. And you care about Native American land property and human rights? Get the fuck out of here. Get out of here. This is absurd. It's laughable if you have followed this topic or know anything about this topic. You know what? I would have had more respect for Donna Brazile and the Democratic Party if they came out 2 months ago for this pipeline. We would have fought them every step of the way, but at least they take a stand. They're not so morally cowardly. Now, all of a sudden, you guys care about the human rights and property rights of Native Americans. Hey, trust me, I've interviewed at least at this point hundreds of Native Americans. They don't give a damn about Native American property rights or human rights. They don't give a damn. After the cameras leave from Standing Rock, after this is no longer a topic, after the hashtags go away, it's business as usual, baby. Whether it's Donna Brazile or anyone else. If it's Keith Ellison as DNC chair, maybe it'll be different. So, she went on. Economic development, job creation, and private enterprise are critical parts of our shared American prosperity. Yeah, it's not shared American prosperity. The 99% is being squeezed by the top 1%. There is no shared American prosperity. We live in an oligarchy where there has been a con job put into place since the 1970s, where all the money has been hoarded by people like Donna Brazile and her ilk, pretending to care about average middle class people. That's the deal. Economic development, job creation, and private enterprise are critical parts of our shared American prosperity, but they should not come at the expense of the health and well-being of our neighbors. Well, again, if the Native Americans are your neighbors, how about you go in and stop fucking robbing their homes? This is their land. It's their land. It's not your land, Donna Brazile. It's not your land, Army Corps. You illegally seized it, and that's why you have a $1.3 billion trust fund that you've dangled in front of the Standing Rock Sioux tribe as payment for stealing their land. And the Standing Rock Sioux tribe has said, fuck off. I don't want your money. It's blood money. We want our land back. That's what is hanging over this whole situation. This isn't just about Standing Rock. Standing Rock Sioux has had a trust fund of $1.3 billion for decades, and they haven't taken a cent. Although the Army Corps of Engineers and the Obama administration made the right call this weekend and effectively halted the project's construction for the time being, the fight to defeat the project is still far from over. Donald Trump, who under mounting criticism over his conflict of interest, only recently sold his stock in the company building the pipeline, has already pledged to overturn the Army Corps' decision. Not only are you morally bankrupt, you're also an idiot, because there's no evidence that Donald Trump sold his shares in this pipeline. I have not read one story that shows me Donald Trump formally sold shares in the Dakota Access Pipeline. The case raises serious questions about how Trump may use the power of the presidency to further his business interests. But beyond these conflicts of interest, the project has been especially troubling for how the corporation in question has stepped on the rights of ordinary people. Hey, Donna. Hey, Chuck Schumer. Hey, Nancy Pelosi. You want to talk about Donald Trump's conflict of interest? How about your own? Let's poke through Chuck Schumer's top donors. Let's pluck through Nancy Pelosi's top donors. Let's see how many are from big oil companies. You wonder how many? Ding, 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 ding. Top 5 for both. Top 5 donors. Get oil and gas. Go down the list. Dick Durbin, Steny Hoyer, Debbie Wasserman Schultz. Let's not even get into that one. They're all bought off by banks and big oil. And by the way, if they're not bought off by big oil, they're bought off by the big banks. And since their bank donors were all invested in this, they didn't want to say anything. They didn't seem to care about the indigenous rights and property land of the Native Americans when Wells Fargo, Bank of America, JP Morgan Chase, and their other masters were invested in it. Suddenly now that President Obama allowed them to be morally righteous, that's when they're doing it. As we look to the future, Democrats will continue to stand with the Standing Rock Sioux tribe. Mind you, none of them have been here. 2 Democrats came here. Actually, one, Tulsi Gabbard. Tulsi Gabbard came here. Jill Stein, who's with the Green Party, she came here. Oh, excuse me, 2 Democrats, Tulsi Gabbard and Congressman Raul Grijalva came here for their support for the water protectors and against the pipeline. As we look to the future, Democrats will continue to stand with the Standing Rock Sioux tribe. We will oppose any corporations that attempt to infringe upon the rights of ordinary Americans. Yeah? When is the blockade going over to Bank of America, Wells Fargo, JP Morgan Chase, Deutsche Bank? When are you gathering the army? When's the cavalry going in, Donna? You're suddenly going to stand on any corporation that attempts to infringe upon the rights of ordinary Americans? Yeah, you really stood against those banks that stole trillions of dollars from average Americans, and then you gave the money back to the banks in 2008. You really stood up to them. Or as Hillary Clinton says, cut it out. Cut it out, Wall Street. They'll stand up against any corporations that attempt to infringe upon the rights of ordinary Americans, and we will hold Donald Trump accountable if he abuses the power of our highest office to trample on the rights for personal financial gain. The bottom line is, folks, I could rant for days on this. I really can. But here's the thing, and I give credit to Jimmy Dore, who has been saying this for a while. I get that Donald Trump is a fascist. I get that he's deplorable. I get that he is a danger to the Union. But look at the shit that's been going on under a Democrat president, an African-American president at that. How much worse is it really going to get? I wouldn't even call these politicians. These are scam artists. These are marketing people. These are branding people trying to get you to give them funds because they're suddenly standing for Standing Rock. When you think you're going to see Donna Brazile stand here? Chuck Schumer stand here? Nancy Pelosi stand here in sub-zero temperature at Osheti Sukhoi camp? stand with the water protectors, there's a better chance you're going to see me with a thick head of hair, a six-pack, and a 10-inch penis. It's not going to happen, folks. I'm sorry to be crude. You know I speak my mind. These people are full of it. These people are not to be trusted. I will give credit to the establishment when they have a right and when they have done something right. Unfortunately, I never could do that. Cory Booker went out and asked for an investigation against the police tactics, but conspicuously absent from that was calling for an end to the pipeline. So Cory Booker did the politically easy thing to stand up and say, we need to investigate these police tactics. That's not courageous. That's an easy thing to do. How about doing the tough thing and standing up against your bank and oil donors and saying no to more fracking, no to endangering the water of 18 million people, no to digging up sacred burial grounds? You think Cory Booker, Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, Steny Hoyer would stand for anyone going near the grave sites of their elders and digging it up? They'd have the National Guard in there faster than Michael Jackson moonwalk. This letter from Donna Brazile is outrageous. And I'm not just trying to attack Donna Brazile, but she's the one who wrote it. And this whole rewriting of history that the Democrats have been sticking with Standing Rock from day one. Bullshit you have. Anyone with a brain knows you haven't. And this kind of, this attempt to con people is why Hillary Clinton lost. Because you put forward the personification of the establishment as your candidate, someone who spent the full month of August in the Hamptons giving out figurative sexual favors to bankers, oil executives, pharmaceutical executives. Almost done. And then went out and said, I'm going to fight for the average Joe. I'm gonna overturn Citizens United. People aren't stupid. Actions speak louder than words, not only in politics, not only in journalism, but in life. I don't care what you say, I care what you do. So that's your Democratic Party, folks. They've learned their lesson from the election, and they're standing with Standing Rock Sioux Tribe. About 4 months late, about 50 to 100 police raids and assaults on unarmed people. That's when they decided to stand with Standing Rock. So don't you forget it. I certainly won't. Again, I'll be in Standing Rock probably for another 5 days, maybe a week. It's kind of up in the air. I'm going to try to see the story through. I have other interviews scheduled. There's also another blizzard scheduled for tomorrow. So I am going to try to go live and update you on things as best I can. I'm also, taking in a lot of information, disinformation. So I'm trying to update you as best as I can. I haven't been as prevalent on Twitter and Facebook because I'm trying to pump out as many videos as humanly possible, as well as doing the interviews. So I've been busy. But thank you for your support. And I will end on this. If you don't know, the Young Turks has formally launched a campaign to add more reporters. So I have some reinforcements so I could take a day off from time to time, add more reporters, add more producers, add more editors, and add more cameramen. I know a lot of you have been a little skeptical. I posted on Facebook saying, is this money going to the Young Turks or TYT politics? I told you over and over again, I work with the Young Turks. I'm sorry if you don't love the direction of the show during the general election. If you want to harp on that for the rest of your life, that's your business. I'm not trying to condescend to you. But as far as I'm concerned, I work for the Young Turks. I'm proud to work for the Young Turks. I didn't agree with the amount of Trump coverage they gave, but this is the progressive movement. We all don't have to engage in groupthink. We can disagree. As far as I know, since the election, Cenk has been fierce as ever, taking the Democratic establishment to task. And more importantly, this fundraising drive is going to do more reporting, to do more investigative reporting, to hire more people to give you rants in cars outside the laundromat in North Dakota. So if you have a few dollars, if you have more than a few dollars, if you want to tell your friends, you've all asked me, how can we get more? How can we get more reporting? How can we keep you out on stories longer? This is your chance. tytnetwork.com/go. tytnetwork.com/go. That money will be spent on hopefully giving yours truly a raise, hopefully getting yours truly better camera equipment, keeping yours truly out on stories longer, sending me to more stories, and giving me more reporters. So It's up to you, folks. You can talk about it or you can make it happen. tytnetwork.com/go. Thank you for watching. Peace out.